Okay then, so we're going to try something a little different today. So we're going to look into doing a little voiceover for one of the particularly good games that we've had recently. For those of you that do watch me on Twitch, you'll recognise this game. This isn't particularly old, but it was a very good game. And just as a point of note, there is some interaction between me and Resh and Jesper that you're not going to get here because, of course, this doesn't pick up on Discord and what have you. So, if you would like to hear, what Resh and Jesper and so on, what we're saying and all that, there will be a link to there will be a link to what's it called? To the highlight underneath in the doobly-doo down below. So, with that said, if you would like to hear what's being said, go there. That's your best bet for that. There is a highlight for it, and you can see the whole game, including all of the banter and the salt and so on. And yeah, but if you're here, that's of course not what you're here for. So, to begin with, we of course, Jesper suggested we rush B, because that's the meme thing to do, and so we decided, yeah, fuck it, why not? We'll rush B. We'll rush B. So, Jesper, of course, being in the Mogador, he's very quick. So by the time I even get close to B, he's pretty much capped it. So I'm shortly going to be basically turning in towards A, and that's where things start getting juicy. But we will see, well, you will see what happens. So the first thing we spot, well, we don't spot it, but the first thing that's spotted is this very, very brave Donskoy, who honestly is really not playing the shit properly. I have a 70% win rate in Donskoy for a reason. I can talk about that. Now, he makes a pretty big error here in that he's turning. Unfortunately, I don't get to punish him. We only do 6k? Yeah, 6k, 6.3. And that's all we get on him there. So with him showing that much side, we could well have just wiped him off the face of the game, but unfortunately we weren't able to do that. But we get to do that later. With that said, though, so we're moving in towards A now, which is pretty much uncontested. No one's actually bothered to go into it. We're radared by the Donskoy, of course. So this is also unfortunate. We got pretty good dispersion here, but unfortunately we only make contact with one shell, and that ends up being an overpen. We will shoot at the Zara again, 2 more times in fact. But yeah, that was unfortunate. With that said, though, we don't get as good dispersion this time. It's a bit whack. But what we do, however, get is a nice citadel. Like that. 14k. We'll take it, Take it or leave it and all that. So in fact, we are going to take that. And, job's a good one. The brave Donskoy has made a return. So he's there. And this is where Resh's first little salt mine incident occurs. He apparently claimed this kill. He didn't say anything about it, but he was about to shoot at him. And so, of course, I did the only natural thing that a division mate can do, and I shoot him first. We get the kill. And next we shoot at the Zara. Because of course the Soyuz is going around the island, so he's not a threat immediately. So we shoot at the Zara. because it's really, realistically, the only thing we're likely to hit at this point. So we shoot at that, and then of course our attention is drawn by the Donskoy's torpedoes. Now we are going to eat one of these, but as they say, cool guys don't look at explosions. We sink the Zara, and now we have a Soyuz to worry about. And in fairness, this should have done a lot more damage to me than it did. This should have hurt a lot more. Well, that was 2k. I should have done more damage. It really should have done. Like, that was a big mistake on my part. I shouldn't have been showing that much side. So, with that said then, we are still alive. And by a fair margin as well. So, what we are going to do now is we're going to shoot at the Colorado. And we'll get about 5k. Not anything startling, but like... It's still... damage is damage and all that. So, with that said then, we take another salvo at the Soyuz. The Soyuz is one of the bigger ones for us because he's a bit more of a threat. Not to mention this Colorado has been spamming HE basically the entire game. Not that I'm saying, oh, you know, he's been spamming HE the entire game, so it's okay to give side to him. If he were to switch to AP, he could have done a lot more damage than he was doing. But, yeah, that's another mistake on my part. I was being complacent. So don't do that, kids. Don't do that. You know, actually think about what you're doing. Unlike I do. I am not a smart man, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be either. But we're working over this Soyuz. Currently just HE because at the angle he's presenting us, unless we were to pin his superstructure, we're not really going to get that much in the way of damage. What he keeps doing though, he keeps turning so that he can get his front guns off, and that is a good point at which to use the AP. We do another 4k damage, and something we didn't notice immediately when this happens is he's going to repair that fire soon. I think. Yes, I do believe it's either going to burn out or he's going to repair it. Yeah, there we go. But the problem here is that we didn't pick up on this. So we ended up not... Ooh, 12k, 4 pens and 2 overs. Nice. We end up not taking advantage of this as well as we could do, in the sense of we should have had another salvo on him for HE, now that he's repaired the fire. I know it's a Russian battleship and it gets the fancier, damage con. But yeah, but here we go. So we've done 8k to him again at that angle. That took me as a surprise. And now we've loaded up 1 salvo of HE. We get 4 shells, 4k damage, and we set him on fire. And this is where we make our mistake. He repaired that fire, and we didn't switch back to HE like we should have done. It's not going to affect the actual, it's not going to affect the end outcome. The outcome is the same either way. But we could have finished him off a lot quicker if we had a fire going on him. So, you know, that was a mistake on my part. I should have thought about that a bit more. Either way, we're doing decent damage. I mean, we're up to 115k so far. 10 minutes in, we are going to get a decent chunk more than that, though. Don't you worry. So another salvo out. We're unfortunately not going to finish him off, but or not here, anyways. But we get close, and our next salvo is up in 7 seconds. And yeah, this is going to be it for him. If I were a bit more of a weeb, I would have inserted the whole, you know, you're already dead meme thing, but I'm not that much of a weeb, so I don't think I'm going to do that. No, I don't think I will. So this is a bit of downtime here, of course. You know, we're in a cyclone, there's nothing close to us. There was suspicion that there might be a DD close, because we do see some torps soon. But that was it, really. Like, that's the only suspicion that there was. So with that said then, of course, we do see these torps. These come up soon. Of course, my DD, our Mogador, Yespai, asks me specifically if I'm spotted, because of course,
engine boost activated.
If I am spotted, then it means the Mogador, or Yespai, whichever you prefer, would have been going off to hunt their DD, essentially. And as a result of me not being spotted, he decided not to bother quite so much. So there's that. So, with that said, we're pretty much going full, steam hammer mode with this. However, I'm soon going to make the decision to turn back in towards B, because at this point we're equal on ships and just ahead on caps. Now, problem here is that, well, it's not entirely impossible for them to be able to pull this back. They could, in theory, pull this back. And if they do manage to pull it back, then we lose. So I decided to go back to B, because then at least that way, if they do get into B, they're not going to get the cap, because I can at least reset them, and more specifically, I can possibly kill them. I mean, given the points lead that we have, it's not likely that a cap would win the game. Like, either way, like, even if they got B, they killed me and they captured B, chances are we'd still win, but it'd be a lot more difficult. So we see Resh here. He's just dodged some torps from this Miyoko, and this is also a kill that Resh had claimed. So we get some shells out, we get 2 citadels, and he dies. In hindsight, I mean, you know what they say, hindsight is 20/20 and all that. If I'd have known that that was going to kill him, I would have saved my reload booster. Because that was a waste. But we head towards B, and this is where I make another mistake. So basically, what happens here is I kind of get to thinking that, well, if anything was coming for B, it would have been spotted by now. And that was my mistake. So I'm very shortly about to start turning in towards C, thinking that, oh, well, because you'll see in a moment, yeah, there we go, that Musashi got spotted. And I was kind of thinking, well, I'll head towards B and I'll give them a hand with the Musashi. Well, lo and behold, what's about to happen, I get spotted, and I spot something. See, B has just been flipped. B is being capped now. I didn't notice this initially, and what is about to happen could very well have been my doom. This could well have killed me. That is a Musashi with its 480mm guns, or for those more in the other side of things, 18.1 inches. So that hurt a lot, but I'm still alive. So we pull a tactical Notza so that we can reverse. Or, not at all, because we didn't really have any other option in the matter, but, and we load the HE, because at this angle, realistically, I'm not really going to be able to pen him. So we load the HE, and our first salvo is going to be into his superstructure. So we've already set 2 fires, though, and that's 2 times where I could have died there. So we do 12k with our HE, and we switch back to AP. Now this was another mistake. I shouldn't have switched to the AP. Or at the very least, if I had kept the AP, I shouldn't have aimed there. I was aiming for the cheek citadel, just like the first salvo. I really shouldn't have. I should have planted it into his superstructure or something. So here what we were thinking is, well, we can go for the ram, but unfortunately, game ends, job's a good one. And these are the after battle numbers. So we have, of course, our credits, fair credit income, 8,000 XP, 1,751 base, 183,000 damage. The usual, you know, it's a pretty good game. Fireproof Dreadnought, First Blood. You know, these are the achievements that, of course, tell you you're playing the battleship correctly. If you're tanking damage, realistically speaking, that's that. I mean, as far as the job of a battleship goes, that's your job. You're there to tank damage and dish it out. So these achievements are always nice to get because it shows you've done your job properly as a battleship. It's even more funny when you get this in cruisers, but that's something for another time. So with that, so this is our post-battle results, and here is our base XP. Of course, Yespi and myself came up at the top with 4 kills, about 2k base. Resh is down here at 1200. I'm not going to say he did badly though. He did well. He just he wasn't able to pick up the scraps. And I think no, we don't have that's a game for another time. We might do that one next if this goes well. But with that said, this will be my first upload. If you guys have any kind of suggestions or anything, do let me know. Because I'll listen to any suggestions made. If anyone wants to see maybe a particular ship played, for example, if anyone has any suggestions to even just improve the quality of the videos themselves, do feel free to give me any suggestions you'd like. Because I mean, at the end of the day, I'm doing this for you guys, so. You know, I'll listen to any suggestions you may have. And I do hope you've enjoyed yourself. But with that said, I do hope that you all have yourselves a lovely time and a nice day. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Do have yourselves a nice night, or morning, or evening, or, you know, whatever it happens to be there. Take care of yourself, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye, everyone, and take care.